Hello everyone, we have the new Hypogean hero Lucilla. Lucilla is also going to be a strength-based hero, and the class will be a support, and the primary role will be debuff as well. So let's start by looking at the skills here, starting with the ultimate skill, Crimson Domain. It has an active ability to it. Lucilla consumes 200 energy per second to create a domain around herself until all energy is exhausted. While active, the attack rating and defense rating of all allied heroes are increased by 30% of the attributes sealed by Lucilla's Crimson Scythe. Enemies within the domain cannot gain shields, and the passive ability to this as well. Lucilla wields her Crimson Scythe to attack, sealing enemy heroes and reducing their attributes until she is defeated. Her normal attack up to 5 to 30% of current defense rating. Moonshade Chase, 5 to 30% of current attack rating. Full Moon, 10 to 25% of current attack rating and defense rating. Each enemy hero can be sealed for up to 40% of Lucilla's initial attributes. When fighting alongside Liberta, Lucilla Crimson Scythe will always seal attributes for the maximum possible value, and will also remove enemies' punishing orbs. And level 2, while active, the attack rating and defense rating of all allied heroes are increased by 50% of the attributes sealed by Lucilla's Crimson Scythe. And level 3, each enemy hero can be sealed for up to 60% of Lucilla's initial attributes. So it's going to increase the attack rating and defense rating of all allied heroes here, which is very nice to see. Also going to reduce the enemy's attributes as well, so increasing allied heroes' attributes and then decreasing enemy heroes' attributes. Also, I'm assuming like the Moonshade Chase and the Full Moon, I'm assuming those are different skills that Lucilla has. I'm also assuming that these values are for the enemy heroes, I'm guessing. They're going to reduce the enemy heroes' defense rating and attack rating as well, looks like, with these certain skills here. Also, like I said with my Liberta review, you're going to need to use Lucilla with Liberta to get the maximum use for Lucilla. Okay, let's look at the second skill. We have Moonshade Chase. This has a passive ability to it. Lucilla selects a random hero to chase. In each battle, she will select the opposing enemy first. Lucilla's sealing effectiveness is increased by 75% against the chase target. Once the limit for sealed attack rating is reached, Lucilla will select another enemy to chase. And the active ability for this, Lucilla launches a slash to attack the chase target, dealing damage equal to 300% of attack rating, stunning the target for 2 seconds, and dashing to their location. And level 2, the damage is increased to 330%. Level 3 increases the stun duration to 3 seconds, and level 4, the damage is increased to 360%. So choosing a random hero to chase, and it will increase her sealing effectiveness here as well when she chases her target. Also doing a little bit of damage and a little bit of crowd control as well with this skill, so very nice. And let's look at the third skill. We have Full Moon. Lucilla deals damage equaling 250% of her attack rating to nearby enemies, with healing restriction for 4 seconds. If the damage hits her chase target, the damage they receive is increased to 350% of her attack rating. Level 2, Lucilla takes 20% less damage from non-chase targets. Level 3 increases damage to 300% of Lucilla's attack rating, and increases damage dealt to chase targets to 400% of her attack rating. And we have the first Engraving skill here. Lucilla takes 50% less damage from non-chase targets. So a skill here that is going to do a little bit more damage here. Also with healing restriction for 4 seconds as well. And the damage increases when she attacks the chase target, the target that she's chasing. Also dealing or taking 50% less damage from non-chase targets with the first Engraving skill. That sounds very nice. So at least 4 of the 5 of the enemies that she has to deal with will only do 50% less damage to Lucilla. And looking at the final skill, we have Shadow Form. This is a passive skill. Increases defense rating by 40% of the defense rating sealed by her Crimson Scythe. 1 time per battle after taking fatal damage, Lucilla will be resurrected with 100% health. Level 2 increases defense rating by 50% of the defense rating sealed by the Crimson Scythe. Level 3 increases attack rating by 35% of the attack rating sealed by the Crimson Scythe. And the second engraving skill we have here, number of resurrections increases to 2. When fighting alongside Liberta, resurrections are increased to 3. And when Liberta is about to take fatal damage, Lucilla will use up one of her resurrections to block that damage and grant him immunity to all damage. And control effects for 4 seconds. This can be triggered up to 1 time per battle. So increasing the defense rating and also with the level 3 increasing the attack rating even more. Also, she has up to three resurrections, so 3 cheat deaths with that plus 60 engraving. That is very powerful to have a hero that can resurrect up to 3 times. And also, if you have Liberta with Lucilla in this formation, Liberta will technically also have a cheat death with the plus 60 engraving, which is very nice to see. That is very powerful. That is definitely a good engraving skill you will probably need to get if you want to build Lucilla. And looking at the signature item, let's start with that. It's called Title Domain. When you unlock the signature item, while the domain is active, all allied heroes deal 5% more damage. Damage is further boosted if the allied hero's attack rating exceeds that of the enemy for a max of 10%. And plus 10, while the domain is active, all allied heroes deal 15% more damage. Damage is further boosted if the allied hero's attack rating exceeds that of the enemy for a max of 30%. Plus 20 signature item, while the domain is active, all allied heroes gain 20 magic pierce points and 20 physical pierce points. In addition, Liberta takes 50% less damage. And the plus 30 signature item, within the domain, Lucilla's silhouette will appear and use normal attacks to deal damage equaling to 100% of attack rating to enemies. This effect can be triggered once every 2.5 seconds. So allied heroes' attack rating will be increased here while they're in the domain. So that's very powerful. Also getting 20 magic pierce and 20 physical pierce. And again, having Liberta with Lucilla here with that plus 20 signature item, she'll take 50% less damage. So that's very powerful. That's a lot of damage to, less damage to take. Also, the plus 30 signature item, Lucilla will have her silhouette, who will do even more damage here. So having kind of like an extra hero on the battlefield to do damage, which is very nice to see from the signature item. Let's go ahead and look at the exclusive furniture as well. And this one is called Lunar Halo. With the 3/3, enemies within the domain take 20% extra damage if there are more surviving allied heroes than enemy heroes. The enemies within the domain take more extra damage for a max of 40%. And the 9 of 9 furniture, every time Lucilla takes damage, her silhouette will appear and use full moon against the attacker. This can be triggered once every 5 seconds. So enemies will take extra damage if they're in the domain, and then take even more extra damage if there's more allied heroes than enemy heroes. So that's very powerful. Enemies taking even more damage. And also this Lucilla's silhouette will use full moon if Lucilla takes damage. So another skill that silhouette can use besides the normal attacks. So yeah, making the silhouette even more powerful. Overall, Lucilla's showing a lot of promise here, just like Liberta. Let's go ahead and see how the skills look in the Arena of Trials. And just like Liberta's Arena of Trials, Lucilla's Arena of Trials have already started on the test server. So I'm just going to go ahead and look at the one dummy here and just see the attacks here. And it looks like Lucilla is a frontline hero in this one. Liberta was a backline hero, so Lucilla is going to go out there and attack the enemies, charge at enemies here as well. And so far, she's taking down these enemies very quickly. And I'm guessing this is the domain that they're talking about. Enemies will take even more damage in this domain. Also, they don't really get any healing in here as well, which is very cool. There's little symbols that show that they're not going to get healed. She's just absolutely destroying these enemies here so far. And the way she's charging at the enemies, I'm assuming those are the chased targets that she charges at. Yeah, overall, Lucia is looking very promising. Liberta looking very promising. I can't wait to build these two. These two sound very powerful together. I can't wait to build these. I might even stop building the hero who I'm currently working on, which is I think it's Vathiel, who I'm working on. I think I might even stop working on him to start working on these two. Hey, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Also comment what do you think about Lucia, and there will be a video on screen that YouTube thinks you would like to watch next, so go ahead and click on that video right now, and thanks for watching.